said, isn't it? And then all of my life, Mother taught me never to laugh at other people. Laugh at myself, but never laugh at someone else. So for all these years that I've been performing, I've been feeling guilty about telling Aggie jokes. Then they changed the name of my college to West Texas A&M University. So now I are an Aggie. So I want to ask you, if I tell an Aggie joke now, am I laughing at myself because I am an Aggie?
Yep.
Good. I want y'all to laugh at me. These two Aggies threw this big celebration, and they invited everybody they knew to come, and everybody they knew came. And finally somebody said, "What are we celebrating?" Miss Aggie said, "What are we celebrating? My buddy and I just put together a jigsaw puzzle in 8 days." And he said, "Really? What's the big deal about a jigsaw puzzle in 8 days?" Aggie said, "What's the big deal about 8 days? The box said 3 to 5 years." I'm just going to stand up here and tell Badger jokes. Did y'all meet these guys? You haven't yet? Well, you hear me talk about Jake and Badger and old Dan and Leon and all the rest of the boys. Well, the rest of the boys aren't here, but Danny and Badger are. And over here on my left is a young man that I'm awfully proud of because I've known him all of his life. He just happens to be my mother's youngest son. He lives in Chickasha, Oklahoma. It's my little brother, Danny. And on my right, from Burleson, Texas, is, in my estimation, the finest Western swing and cowboy guitar player alive. And if you got some cowboy music in your collection, there's a good chance he either played on it or produced it or both. But he's a fabulous guitar player, fabulous musician. He plays a lot of different instruments. We were in Fortaleza, Brazil one morning, and we were going to go down on the beach for some reason or another, and we were all there except one. And I said, "Where's Rich?" And one of the boys said, "Don't bother him. Just let him lay. He's grouchy as an old badger this morning." So that's where his name came from. His real name is Richard E. O'Brien, but his real name is Badger. We've had a lot of fun together. We've been all over the world, and we got a lot more of it to do, I hope. As long as we don't have to get on another airplane. I'm just kidding. We get on a lot of airplanes. But I'll do a song for you called "The Wire and the Rail." There were three things that changed the West dramatically. First of all was the wire, because we were able to confine our animals inside our boundaries of our property, and therefore we could upgrade the beef quality of our cattle and upgrade all of the genetics of our horses because of the fence. And then the windmill. We had millions and millions of acres of land in the West that was unusable for livestock because there weren't any natural water sources except in certain periods of time there's some of those playas that fill up. And then the railroad. The railroad brought the market to us. So the windmill, the barbed wire. I think somebody's trying to call me. I forgot to turn my phone off. And it plays my favorite song, because that song paid off the ranch and bought 2 lots on the golf course. That's my favorite song. But anyhow, the windmill, the barbed wire, and the rail made a difference. made safely home from war. While we was fighting Yanks up in Shiloh, them longhorns were growing by the score. And now the North was hungry for beef and leather they would pay. So when the railroad reached to Kansas, our job was to drive them up that way. So raise a glass to the drover who braved the dangers of the trail, then faded into history with the coming of the wire and the rail. We gathered them down by San Antonio, headed up the Chisholm Trail in May. 2,000 head wild as mule deer lined out like a ribbon on the plain. The rivers rose to meet us. We battled the heat and the rain. We lost a man when they ran one night and buried him in a shallow grave. So raise a glass to the drovers who braved the dangers of the trail, then faded into history with the coming of the wire and the rail. Days in the sand, cold and weary, sleeping on the ground. Night watch singing to the cattle, wild and woolly once we got to town. We never made much money, and no one remembers our name. But for 20 years we ruled the range, boy, till the railroads and fences changed the game. So raise a glass to the drovers who braved the dangers of the trail, then faded into history with the coming of the wire.